Hi world, this is my treatise on Jupiter. A number of you have said that I'm actually a bit disrespectful for Jupiter, and indeed on the surface I am somewhat flippant towards him. My nickname for Jupiter is Fat Boy, and as some of you know, I'm a lot more Saturnine than I am Jupiterian. Nevertheless, Jupiter is the biggest planet in the sky. It's bigger than all the other planets put together. It acts as a giant vacuum cleaner for all the asteroids, meteors, comets that come in, and normally hoovers them up before they get too close to the Earth. I'm sometimes a little bit uncertain about Jupiter simply because Jupiter is made of hot air. It's gas. Jupiter actually gives out twice as much light and heat as he takes in from the Sun. So Jupiter's principle is that of expansion and growth, yes, but it's also the capacity for overreaching, overstretching, overindulging, overweight, much as Saturn's capacity is for understretching, underindulgence, restriction and limitation. Jupiter and Saturn are equal and opposite sides of the same coin. However, Jupiter, with its fractionally under 12-year orbit, does have the reputation for being also the planet of wisdom, the domain of the wise. After a period of time, which normally takes at the very minimum 3 Saturn cycles, I often say to people life begins at 40, right? And actually, as evolution's accelerated and population growth has accelerated, I've advanced that to 37, 38 years old, the Pluto square, the preliminary to the first Saturn square, but sometimes as early as the first Jupiter return at 36 years old. There is a change in people, a change in perception and a change in consciousness. It depends how much travelling I've done, how much life they've lived, but in most people, in the second half of the 30s, there appears to be some type of maturity kicks in, and that talks of wisdom, the domain of the wise. In order to get there, there's a necessity for both experience and knowledge, and to a certain extent age. But Jupiter does bestow wisdom. Jupiter brings the capacity to see the bigger picture, to get the overview. It's the planet that's most commonly associated with not so much psychology as it is philosophy. It speaks of the higher truth behind things, which is why, of course, it's so commonly associated with Sagittarius. When you see people with a strong Jupiter in their charts with lots of aspects to the Sun or Moon or Mercury, then you can be sure that when young, all things being equal, they're much more likely than most to use their passport to go travelling, on the grounds that travel is all about culture study. It's about immersing oneself in a culture and soaking up the experience of a culture around you through osmosis. So when younger, under 40, Jupiter's travel is all based around culture study, anthropology, ethnicity, going native fast, the ability to fit in somewhere straight away and almost seem like a native from the word go. When older, Jupiter's lesson is much less to do with travel at a physical level, and often, not always, but often much more to do with travel at the mental level. Hence Jupiter's association with higher education. And often people with those strong Jupiterian travel aspects when young will use those same aspects when older to go back to university and do a master's degree or a doctorate. Jupiter sees the big picture, it gets the overview, the higher mind. It also brings humour. Jupiter is Jove, and from Jove we get jovial, optimism, hope, faith, belief, humour. Jupiter's principle, which is a little bit unfortunately similar to the lower evolved Sagittarians, is that you put your all into something, you really give it everything, and then if you can't do it and it doesn't work, well, you just move on. Jupiterian people don't normally get that attached that easy. Reason I'm focusing on Jupiter, it's bright up there in the sky. Saw it on the way into work, very big, brightest star in the sky, especially at about 4:35 in the morning. So if you're up early, before dawn, go and look to the south and southeast over the next couple of weeks, you'll find Jupiter. Okay, that's it for this one. Hope that's helpful, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.